Hello folks, and welcome back to the Vision of Veritas here. So last night I watched the debate, Oz versus Fetterman. I don't know if any of you got a chance to do that, but the only word that I can think to use to describe what I witnessed and what a lot of people witnessed was a train wreck. And it's not just because of Fetterman's inability to answer and comprehend questions. I also really didn't like the fact that Oz is a lukewarm Republican just like Pat Toomey. The unfortunate part of this is Oz has the makings of a rhino, and collectively we have to stop that. That's a huge problem that is absolutely not what our nation needs. But of the two choices, I mean, it's obvious who I do support, and there's a lot of valid reasons for that. Now, I actually am going to go through the whole debate here. Yes, it is going to be long, but I think it's really important that we do that. I want to preface this by stating my commentary will have absolutely nothing to do with the effects and the aftermath displayed with regards to Fetterman's stroke. On a purely human level, it's very unfortunate what happened to him. On a policy level, his policies are just as bad now as they were prior to his stroke. So my commentary will have nothing whatsoever to do with his stroke. Now, when we watch this here, I truly believe that Fetterman as a whole doesn't know the answers to some of these questions. The reason why I'm saying this is because you can tell when he gets a little flustered, and then it's almost like a default. He defaults to kind of throwing a cheap shot out at his opponent, Oz. And usually it's a personal attack. Now, as far as political debates go, I'm all for attacking your opponent as long as it's about the politics of the opponent. That's what these debates are for. But I have a problem with the cheap shots because you don't know the answer to the question, or you simply don't understand the question. So you default to an ad hominem answer. And it doesn't do anybody good. It makes you look like a moron.
A follow-up question to you, Mr. Oz. This one is just for you. You tweeted in August that you will never stop fighting to lower gas prices for Pennsylvanians. Does that include supporting a suspension of the federal gas tax? You have 30 seconds.
I'm supportive of reducing taxes, but we want to be thoughtful about the long-term game plan to get gas taxes down and, frankly, all energy prices down. I have gone around the Commonwealth. I've witnessed people say, I'm not going on vacation this year because I can't afford to pay to take my trailer to the campground. They can't even get there. What we have to do is ensure that we don't have increased inflation, and the best way to do that is reduce gas prices. John Fetterman has gone after the energy industry, called it a stain on Pennsylvania, and argued we have to ban fracking. That is disconnected from Pennsylvania.
So with this next question here, we have Oz answering the question, but then again, not answering the question. He was specifically asked if he would suspend the gas tax in Pennsylvania. The best answer to that question would have been yes. Pennsylvanians already pay some of the highest taxes in the nation. Supporting a suspension of the gas tax would have been the correct answer. That puts more money, regardless of how much or how little it is, ultimately, that puts more money back into the pockets of Americans. Subsequently, that gives Americans more money to spend, which subsequently would bolster the economy. Where Oz is correct on here is the long-term solution with regards to energy prices is to fully go after all of the energy resources that Pennsylvania has to offer responsibly. Pennsylvania has untold wealth right under its feet. The left, for whatever reason, is doing everything that it can to prohibit access to it. Why are we relying on foreign enemies, on foreign nations, when we have all the energy that we need right under our feet for the next several hundred years? That alone should tell you something shady's going on. That would increase Pennsylvania revenue. That would increase Pennsylvania taxes, not by raising the taxes, but they would be collecting more taxes. The leftist policy makes no sense whatsoever, especially with regards to energy. You know, my father does HVAC, and he recently put in a boiler for a customer that also happens to be a very close personal friend of the family. This family doesn't live in the city, they live out there a little bit. What this does is this forces them to not be hooked up to the regular gas mains that the vast majority of the city residents are, so they have to rely on oil heating. To make a long story short, to fill up their entire tank is 1,000 gallons. That's for the winter season that they need to use to heat their house. Now, because there is very little competition with regards to oil, and because we are forced to go overseas to get our oil, that family is forced to pay over $4,000 right up front just to heat their home for the winter. Now, I happen to know that this family is also retired, so they're living on A, a fixed income, and B, what they have saved. Taking a $4,000+ hit that is just going to go up year after year with these policies that are being enacted, it's unsustainable not only for that family, but for families all across America. If you stuck around and listened to this entire thing, I cannot say how appreciative I am of you, for doing so. You didn't have to do that. Please listen to it, share it to your friends, take it to heart. If you've learned anything from this, please like, share, and subscribe. Like I said earlier, please send this to your friends. I need all the help I can get with expanding this channel, and that's what I would truly love to do, but I can't do it without you. So, once again, at the risk of sounding like a parrot, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for sticking around. Have a good day, and take care.